Here's one that I really struggled with for a long time because there's some truth to it as well. And it's the myth that your prep time doesn't count as personal Bible study. Your prep time doesn't count as personal Bible study. Now, if you're a pastor, that perhaps you heard at seminary, you need a personal devotion time aside from sermon preparation. If you're a Bible study leader, maybe you've heard it put that way too. If you're leading a Bible study, the work you put in to prepare that Bible study doesn't count as your own personal time in the Word. That's work. You've got to also have personal time. And for some people, I think this is actually true. I know some pastors that said, as long as I was only preparing a sermon, that word didn't work in my life. I needed to set aside separate time for that. I found I couldn't preach unless the Word was preaching to me first. So when I tried to wall off sermon prep for my own personal engagement with God's Word, what happened was there was a divide there that I was never comfortable with. So I want to take God's Word with me into the week. So if I'm working on a sermon, that Word is something I'm chewing on and meditating on. What if I make a hospital visit, or if I do a devotion online, if I'm writing something up, I'm expecting that Word to show up in my everyday life. Now that I'm not preaching as regularly, if there's a word on Sunday in the sermon that I'm sitting with, I'm going to take that with me into my week, so that your professional, your leadership role doesn't have to be completely separate from your own personal development and growth. It's okay if you count your sermon preparation as your own personal engagement in God's Word, as long as it actually counts as your personal engagement in God's Word. If you're prepping a Bible study, if you're going to teach second graders about the Joseph, then read the story of Joseph in Genesis as if Jesus had something for you. Bring a catcher's mitt instead of a dartboard attitude. Don't just check the box. Yep, Joseph story, second graders, done. Wonder your 100th time through the Joseph story what Jesus has for you today in your circumstances. And that's how you turn your prep into meditation as well.